Yo, yo, what's going on? It's 24/7 TV, and you know we represent the tech, we represent the sport, of course we represent the music. So every now and again, I'm going to get a few of these guys in. A few of your guys, the producers.
The producers?
Yeah, man, the DJs.
No,
yeah.
I'm not a producer, I'm an artist.
Okay, so it's going down now, yeah?
That's how it is. I'm not a producer, I'm an
artists.
artist. Yeah, that's right.
You're an artist or a producer or a DJ?
Artist.
You're
Or a
artist.
drummer?
Artist. I'm all of them. I'm all of them.
That's one thing about you, man. I've known you for a long time, obviously. We're not going to go too far back because you're doing a
Hold
lot.
on, have you actually said his name? It's the legendary Erb N Dub! Huge! And you've got another few pseudonyms, haven't you?
Yeah, they're secret though.
In terms of doing the whole drumming thing and like actually being a live drummer and having that on your side, how do you think that helps you with production and making music?
Yeah, I think it helps a lot really because, you know, even with DJing I picked it up really quickly because understanding beats and bars is a must really, and in production, you know, like I can write drums in my head rather than just experimenting. I know what drums I want to program when I'm writing music, so it's invaluable really.
How long do you spend on a tune from like start to finish, man? What's the time process? Because some people, they think they can make a tune really quick. In drum and bass, obviously it's quite a technical form of music.
Yeah, it can vary really. You know, with me, I started off through the sort of jump up route in my early part of my career, and then once I got to a level in that, I wanted to sort of learn production as far as I can take it. And I'm ever learning, but you know, it might take me a couple of weeks to finish a tune. Today I've got to go back after this interview, got to mix down a tune. Take me about 3 hours, you know, but it's only because I've sort of taught myself beyond what you know, the norm, so I can go in the studio and apply myself, whereas it used to be a lot of trial and error. So, you know, we recently done that track with Example and Crafty Cuts and Dynamite. I made the beat in a day, the hip-hop version, with Crafty Cuts, and then I did the drum and bass mix in 2 days. You know, say 2 years ago, that might have taken me months, you know. It's just when you get your skills up to a level where you know what you're doing, things are a lot quicker.
Yeah, and also recently, like say over the last year, you've had almost an image change as well.
Yeah.
Which we wanted to touch on.
Can I take credit for that?
Yeah.
That's my girlfriend.
Obviously, you had the dreadlocks for many years. Like I said, I've known you for many years. The dreads were there from a very early age. What made you kind of switch and chop them off? Because people were like, wow, like they all knew you for that look. So.
Yeah, it's a big change really. Like I had dreads when I was in school, like not even in the 6th form. So, you know, most people know me for dreads. And then, you know, about 2 years ago, I moved to Brighton. Sort of my social circle changed. Got bigger studio, working with bigger labels, and I thought, you know what, it'd be good to have a rebrand here at the same time. You know, I didn't want to be like heading towards 40 with dreadlocks, you know, and just hanging on to it. I just thought, you know what, let's just go in fresh. New labels, new tunes, just a whole new approach, and it's really the best thing I've ever done.
You know, you're one of the most talented people out here in terms of your ability of what you can do, but it's almost like unless people know you, they don't know how good you are. Lop the hair off, weirdly enough, suddenly it's, oh, where's this guy come from? Does that make sense?
I think that does make sense because they're just, sometimes the image kind of blurs the picture.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? For certain artists, and I think that maybe was the case, but now they're just hearing the music.
That's right.
And what I'm seeing now is like, you know, this guy's Instagram every day is on Radio 1 or 1 Extra, or the radio plays like,
and it's well
Yeah,
deserved
it's
because you put the hours in, man.
Yeah, I think last year I had like 60 plays on Radio 1, and like there's already like 10 already this year, you know, maybe 15.
Just break them down, some of the remixes you've done, because it's strong work, man.
Well, the one we done with TC and Jakes, it was Next Type, so me, Chrissy and Malux, we produced together, and we just done a remix in an hour of all things, sent it over to TC, a few people, and also we've seen it battered. It was a festival season, and I see like Andy C. Kane in it, but like there's videos going up all over the place. I see it Let It Roll, like it was like the tune
Can
of
I just say,
many of the festivals.
You know, just because he's knocked it up in an hour, he's got 20 odd years experience. I don't want people going, yeah man, I'm going to make a tune in an hour, and expect Andy to be playing it at Let It Roll.
That's because like the techniques, like he said, he learned over the years, so when the vibe's right, you can create something like that.
Yeah, exactly. A lot when you're producing, you do a lot of the work beforehand. Like the best way to make tunes, as advice to anyone, is spend a few days making new sounds. Then when you go to make a tune, you've got all this fresh stuff to work with. If you start making a tune and you're making sounds in the middle of the project, it's going to take you ages because there's no creative flow. You're not like just letting it out, you know. And that's the main advice I'd say to anyone who's a producer. is to make sounds or even get sample packs or whatever all in place before you even sit down and write a record. We'd written all these new sounds. We've got a remix to do. It's like new drums in that, remix stems, new basses in that. Oh, look at that. Does that sound good? Yeah, okay, cool. Send it out, done.
Brilliant.
You know, tune blew up. You know, it's a remix that blew up, and it is sort of helped catapult my new brand into 2016, now 2017. We've got some remixes coming up for some artists, which I can't really say, but some big names that are coming out in 2017, and you know, it's looking good, to be fair.
It's a good time for drum and bass. I'm seeing a lot of the styles. It's sort of merging different styles. You jump up, your more techie stuff, your neuro. Everything's kind of coming together again, which is nice.
Under one roof again,
which is nice, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we can actually link at some parties again.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I've always been one of the DJs that supports across the board. I might be known more for neurofunk now, but some people might know me for jump up or dance floor stuff with like technique. And you know, in my DJ sets, I play across the board.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? It's just always the way I've done it. It can be quite difficult, because you know there's all these different genres and different styles of mixing, but I embrace drum and bass as one, and I always have. I have seen divides with jump up being jump up, neurofunk being, you know, there. But you know, if you're a good DJ, you can play them all. And you know, sometimes a jump up tune might pop off just as much as a neurofunk tune, or vice versa, you know. And keeping that variety in you know, your sets is the key.
You know what it is? Sometimes I think it's not what you play, it's how you play it.
Oh, of course it is. You've got to be a selector, man.
I always remember Modified Motion done this tune, and I played it in Germany, and Fresh was all jumping on my back. What is this? What is this? And I was like, Moddy. So he hit Moddy up the next day, and then Moddy hit me up going, oh, nice one for that, because, you know, having Fresh play your tune's a good thing. I see Fresh about a month later, and he went, bruv, that track didn't go down as well when I played it. I went, it's how you play it, bro. And you know, Dan, he went, all right.
See, this is why I like Phantasy. It always give you the industry insiders as well.
My book's coming soon.
Yeah, man.
It's called Dab a Lot.
But yeah, Dab a Lot, you know. But yo, what's the next big thing for Erb N Dub, man?
The next big thing really is I'm getting a lot of shows coming in, do a lot more dates really, and I'm probably gonna sit down and write an album at some point. Maybe I'm gonna start it this year. We've got an album's worth of material with Malix and Chrissy Chris, so we need to find a home for that this year, and we're in talks with a few labels.
Have you not thought about doing your own imprint? Because like I know, like, you know, I mean, I've had my own labels since the dawn of time, but the thing is I know Mackie is like so happy that he done his own label, because he has that creative control.
Yeah, full control.
You know, the thing is, I think, me personally, you might think differently, I think the days of, you know, if you had a track on RAM or Players or Technique, you know, it would change the world for you. Like, you know, I think them days are not really as... I think they've changed. I think the bottom line is the kids have access to the music in any different form that they can have it now. And if they like something, they'll go and get it and they'll support it, you know what I mean? So have you not thought about your own imprint? Because one thing I do know about you, you always seem to appear on these wicked cool labels.
But I just want to focus purely on my DJ sets, 100%, and
no,
my music.
You know what, I hear exactly what you're saying. You know what I mean? But it's just a thought that, you know, you've got that much material, you're always kind of waiting on somebody else's schedule.
I think it's something for the future, man. Once you like, you know, I've seen how other people have done it, man. They've gone onto the labels, and then when they get to a certain stage, right now we've got our own imprint, we've got our own thing, because then you're at a certain stage. But
when I'm in the right position, I'd set up a label and I'd pay someone to run it. But like, bang, that's what I want you to do.
Well, we've got someone, Mr. Ross, who'll gladly run it for you.
Trust me. You know what though, Rob? It's always good to talk. Thank you very much for coming down.
Thanks.
You know what? We've had so many MCs come up. We've had different people from the tech world, the sports world. So it's good to have a producer come up and kind of get things from your perspective. So we might have to do a producer round table another time and go a little bit deeper with the techniques.
We talk about transients.
Yeah,
transients,
definitely.
And snares.
Yeah, we talk about snares. Snares
are important.
Snares are brilliant.
Yeah, snares are important, you know.
Snares are one of the driving forces of...
Let's not do it now.
Yeah, you know what? Snares are important. Please understand that.
Yeah, hashtag snares are important. 24/7 TV, Phantasy, Erb N Dub was signing out. Peace.